Hello there, my name is Joseph Craybaum, and welcome to my video essay entitled, This is Just to Say That I'm Gonna Eat Me a Lot of Peaches. So, the poem, of course, that I chose for this assignment was This is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams. And I noticed that when I first read this, I thought, so it's about plums, huh? I mean, it's more than just about plums, but the subject of the poem is about the plums and how the person wasn't supposed to eat them, but he did. And it just reminded me, just the simplicity of the poem and the trivial nature of it, just sort of reminded me of another song about another kind of fruit that's kind of similar to plums. And that one was called Peaches that one is called Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America. Yes, that's their actual real band name. Look it up. You'll be impressed for sure. So now why did I choose Peaches, and furthermore, why did I link that to This Is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams? Well, both of these poems I feel like are sort of sinful. They kind of represent some of the seven deadly sins. Some of the seven deadly sins, such as gluttony, sloth, and lust. Three sins that both of these works explore. Now, they seem like they're presented in a way that feels completely trivial, completely unimportant, but really when you peel off all their layers, pun intended, This Is Just to Say and Peaches are all about those sins, such as gluttony, greed, and lust, like I mentioned before. So, how does This Is Just to Say deal with gluttony? Well, as you can see by the first stanza of this poem, he says, I have eaten the plums that were in the eye spots right over here. Now, it's pretty blunt. It's stated in a way that's pretty matter of fact. However, a deeper look will reveal that the narrator is a glutton. More than one plum. For one thing, he says, I've eaten the plums, so plum is plural. And also, they were cold, so he kind of wanted to indulge in their freezing temperatures, I suppose. And furthermore, the fact that they were freezing everything from being in the ice spots. And furthermore, he's emphasizing that I have eaten, not I ate the plums. So it's like he's pretty much proud of himself that he ate the plums, basically. Now, here's something from Peaches that I think kind of has to do with gluttony, that kind of relates to the gluttony as seen in This Is Just to Say. The chorus actually is just this. This is the chorus actually. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. And it just goes on, it just repeats. And then, furthermore, there goes, one of the verses goes, if I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day. And then finally, the outro consists of this. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And that's what I was thinking about when I saw that This Is Just to Say poem. I thought about this song. And why did I think about this song? It's much more lighthearted, but it's still quite to the point, I must say. Kind of like the This Is Just to Say poem. I'm just going to refer to it as the plums poem from now on, because that's basically what it is. It's just about plums. But these three quotes are evidence for glutton, like words such as, or phrases such as a lot and every day and millions of are good qualifiers for this. They're good key examples for this gluttonous behavior. And it's also the repetition of millions of peaches towards the end. It's like millions of peaches, millions of peaches, millions of peaches, millions of peaches. over and over again. It just adds to his gluttonous behavior, like he's a kid on a hill full of burgers or something. Yes, and I got that from an episode of Arthur. Don't quote me on that. Quote Arthur on that. But anyways, okay, so how do they mean more than what's on the surface? I would say that both of them use rather simple everyday diction, not intellectual sounding words or phrases. And also both have such a minimalistic structure to them. And that they say less. It seems like they say less, when really a closer look reveals much more about gluttony, really. Now to the next part of this essay, which is sloth. So, the sloth part of this poem, the Plums poem, comes in the second stanza of this poem. The second stanza of it. And which you were probably saving for breakfast. So this equals sloth because the narrator assumes that the person saved the plums for breakfast, but he ate them anyway. He was just too lazy to go out and get his own plums, basically. That's why it's sloth. From peaches, though, the sloth in here is a little bit made a little bit more explicit. The verse says, "Peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown." That's the first part of the first verse. And what I like about what makes it like sloth is that he's just completely oblivious. The narrator is completely oblivious to how peaches are even made, how they're grown in the first place. Then later on, he says, "I took a little nap where the roots all twist." So taking a nap, I think, is the ideal image of sloth. It's like laying in a hammock, basically. It's just very much like sloth, in my opinion. So that also has to do with that particular sin. Now, how do they mean more? It's the shallow imagery of both the poem as well as the song that suggests sloth. However, even though both of those authors, both William Carlos Williams and Chris Ballou, who is the lead singer of the band, the Presidents of the United States of America, even though they're not trying very hard to express a deeper meaning, both of them still get their points across, which I kind of admire about both of these works of art, basically. Now, the third part, the final sin that these works of art commit is lust. "Forgive me, they were delicious, so sweet and so cold." So that's from This Is Just to Say by William Carlos Williams, and that's the final part of that poem. It's almost as if those plums were forbidden fruit that had tempted the narrator. And also, what I think kind of sounds a bit familiar, at least to, like, sexual assault and all that kind of stuff, is that he sold her plums and ate, or not her, well, I mean, it could be a him as well. It's not specified what gender this person is. But he stole her plums and ate them without her consent, which I think kind of sounds like sexual assault if you really read into it. I'm not saying that you should, but at least that's what I'm getting at here. And from peaches, the lust is yet again the sin in this song is made a bit more explicit than the one in the poem. Let's see. It goes, "I already said I took a little nap with the roots all twist." That's what starts off the second verse. So let me just sing this. "I took a little nap with the roots all twist, squished a rotten peach in my fist, and dreamed about you, woman. I poke my finger down inside, make a little room for an ant to hide. Nature's candy in my hand, or can, or pie." So at that part of the song, he's saying he poked his finger down inside that peach. And I think it sounds like a euphemism. Yeah, peaches often in pop culture resemble female parts or female, I guess, reproductive organs. But also the fact that he was dreaming about her is lustful in itself because he desired her body. He really wanted her, basically. And that's what makes it lust. So both the poem and the song really do have to deal with lust, but not only lust, but also gluttony and sloth as well. So, in conclusion, they're great examples of sin because they both represent all of those three sins: gluttony, sloth, and lust. If you really want to know what this, if you really want to know what this song sounds like, go ahead and check it out. I'll post a link in the link in the thread to this video. So yeah, I'll post a link for this song so that you can hear it for yourself. It's a good song, I must say, but it really does connect with the This Is Just a Say poem, and not just in the sense that they're about fruit. Basically, they're also about sin. So that's my video essay, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Peace out.